Hello guys, let's cut straight to the chase. So today's video is going to be about the Heart of Elinthy series. Is going to be a discussion of the D&D campaign. First, let's start with the first session, not even the trailer, I guess, because I myself right now am on session 8 and I kind of know what is happening in the campaign, but a refresher would be very good and mostly for the clips, I guess. So let's start it. This video is not going to be that long, or at least not as long as the it, thing itself, the session itself. So I guess all things considered, it's going to be a good discussion, I think. So next, so we're going to start. Let's roll a little bit. Start from the beginning. Start from the beginning. And I could have used some clips, but I don't know if I can actually correct them and put them in the correct order for some reason, so I'm just going to use the video, I guess. So the session starts with basically us meeting the four characters and the DM, Joe being the DM himself, and Buck, Fritz, Lyra, and Bird. From what I know of their backstory, I actually think I really like this. I really like this campaign very much because it's a it's um it's a very cool dynamic between the characters, especially with Word and Buck, in my opinion, because they seem like they have a thing going on their with their constant talking about their past at each other sometimes, or sometimes just talking like old friends most of the time, and like they know each other very well. And the best thing about it is that the players and the DM, the players themselves actually act as the characters, not as the actual, not as the actual people they are in this world, which I really like. So let's roll some clips from the session.
Like any dangerous storm, it can be tempered. The second threat to Querencia is that of time itself. For every 10 years, the tree is to be given a tribute via 5 powerful relics to keep its roots alive and healthy. For 15 years, without such feeding, the tree will wilt and die, and Elinthy robbed of its splendor. The upkeep of Querencia has become not only the duty, but also a tradition called the Draconic Pilgrimage, where 5 dragons, the individuals that are the kingdom's most powerful beings, are to bestow their relics, their hearts, to a traveling band of adventurers in order to bring...
The explaining of the campaign was best put for the DM, for Joe. But well, this is the main premise. Our characters are the Draconic Pilgrims, and they are, as I should have mentioned probably in the beginning, there are going to be spoilers for at least 8 sessions of this playlist, of this campaign. So as I was saying, the pilgrims, they are the pilgrims of Satya. In the first session, they kind of are not pilgrims yet, but they are competing to be ones. And in the end, with the fight with the NPCs we meet in this session, like the fairy, I forgot her name. Let me find the fairy, the dragonborn, the white dragonborn, the fairy and the goblin, who we meet in the session, and they are they appear in some later sessions. So let's focus on this one for now. This session focuses on them becoming pilgrims and actually being put to the task of saving Elinthy as a whole. So this session mostly just consists of fighting with the NPCs that I mentioned earlier, and with us being introduced to the whole thing, in as it is the first session, us being introduced to the whole thing, to the story of the world, and to the characters themselves. So let me just scroll a little bit here, and we will find
Useful but worthless if the enemy can outlast you. Should
we'll find some people from backstories of the players, and the this person right here is an important figure in a backstory of Lyra, or the player Red OSP.
allies
And
have an
she
off
is.
day.
I don't know why I forgot all the names of the characters besides for the player characters, but I don't know. But that's not the point. So,
The second threat to Quarencia, they're the seating benches littering about. Various food and drinks enough to feed a small family sit atop a hastily made. You are, yes. Given up being cleaned. Right for it.
this is exactly the point where we're introduced to what we actually to the character whose backstory this ties into.
Yes, I imagine I am right now conversing with perhaps my mentor.
You
Yeah,
are,
a
yes.
mentor.
You are having a conversation with Shimea, an elderly tiefling who has taken on the pilgrimage herself for many decades. She wears a very dirty robe that seems to have given up being cleaned, and wears a mushroom head that always seems to cover her face, save her smooth blue horns and bright glowing eyes that shine through the veil. She visits you through an image formed from the smoke of incense she has given you, that she may coach you while tending to other matters away from the tournament site.
Jedi Kazi.
Continuing an ongoing topic, she speaks. And you have to plan for what happens when you run out of arcane stamina. Your physical prowess has always been wanting, and your opponents.
I'm also planning to
and
translate some of
exploited.
these,
Yes,
all
I understand.
or all sessions if I have time,
Your choice of
into
defensive
Russian
spells are useful,
to
but worthless if the enemy can
to make
outlast you.
to make
Should
them to make them more accessible to some people, because I want some people who in this community, in the Russian community, to appreciate D&D more, because it's a very fun game.
Allies have an off day and you aren't able to knock the enemy out in a quick manner, you all may not have a scratch on you, but you may not make any progress. Am I making sense?
Yes, I'll do my best.
Good.
I'm going to make you proud.
She sighs a little bit and kind of looks to the side. I know you will. I know that I may have been callous. Well, more callous than usual these past few days, but only so that the world beyond Satya will also be.
Of course.
Should you win the tournament and begin the pilgrimage, which is not a guarantee, child,
Yes.
the larger Elinthy will not give you notes on where you can improve.
Yes, well.
So, as I was
Yes,
saying,
well.
this this session is about us being introduced to this whole thing, and what I really like about it is that we see some of the characters in action, especially Lyra in this session, because she I think it was in this session or in the next one. She talks to the fairy, to one of the contestants becoming the Draconic Pilgrim, and she talks to her in a way that actually gets to her, and I mean that because in the tavern they met up after the contest. They actually the fairy was in a very bad mood and couldn't really not really muster up the courage. What I mean is, like, seeing how other people how other people got to what she wanted to do. Like, she wanted to be the Draconic Pilgrim. She was one of the finalists. There were two teams, the team with the fairy and the team with the players. And as we see from the as we see in the session, the fairy actually really wanted to become a pilgrim for for a reason that for a reason that most likely is just to save the world, from what I remember, at least. And Lyra really shines in that scenario, because even though, as Red mentioned herself, Lyra is not good with social situations. In most sessions, Lyra is the one leading the social interactions. So it's what really puts things into perspective, and to see how the players can handle their characters' flaws, I guess. And that's what I really like about the session as a whole. And other things is the dynamic between Buck and Word, and how the backstory of Fritz is also shown, how the fatherly love of Dozen is shown for Fritz. And to better understand it, Fritz Fritz is a Fritz is how do I put it? Is a sailor, more or less, and grew up at the docks in Sachia for all her life, and never left. Never left in this before becoming a pilgrim. And in later sessions, that also shines. And yeah, so the dynamic now, about the dynamic about Word and Buck. This dynamic is really this dynamic is really a really funny one, and a really entertaining one to me personally, because yeah, the players are doing a very good job at doing this role play thing. Even I play D&D myself, but I'm not nearly as good at role playing my characters, and I'm even worse at being a DM. So that's mostly what I wanted to talk about in this discussion. But if we can elaborate on this further on the first session, we can just watch a little bit of the session, or about 5 or 10 minutes, I guess, and then we'll call it today's video.
I'll just do my best.
Yes. The only feedback you'll be getting will be the missing chunks of flesh about your person, and the dents to your sanity from interacting with the locals of the other provinces, especially those drunks from New Baskai.
Yes, the talking to people thing. I might leave to the others if I can.
I see.
I mean, I'm here to do a job, you know? It's the tree's the only thing that matters. All the rest of this is just distraction.
Somewhat. I used to think the same, but only you can learn the deeper meaning that the people of this land seem to have attached to this ritual. Whatever the case may be, I know that you will get it done.
Yes.
Shimea seems to be picking at some things kind of out of view of the smoky vision she's projecting from, and like she's about to get back to a task or is losing interest in the conversation. And she speaks up again. I think that about covers it for the day. Is there aught else you need of me at the moment?
No, I won't keep you from your duties.
Very well. As the incense smoke begins to fade and the image of Shimea starts to turn around, it suddenly returns to a healthy form briefly, and she hesitantly faces you again, regardless of how it may sound. And much as I take more delight in tending to plants than people, you are among the better things I have warded in my life. I only ever wish to see you succeed, child. Whatever happens this day, that will not change.
And I only wish to make you proud.
She nods a little bit, and you can see that for the limited time that, the little chances that you can get, you've noticed that she's smiling with her eyes, a little happily closed. And the smoke finally fades into the air as the image of Shimea disappears.
Okay, let's get back to my job.
And on the other side of the tent, the next member of the party, a small reptilian-looking creature in a
This is the
fancy
introduction
coat,
to the characters.
who
Nice.
may or may not have overheard the conversation. Logan, go ahead and introduce who you are, what you do, and the character you will be playing for us.
Hello, I am Logan. I go by Runesmith online, and I am also the creative spearhead of Eldermancy, which is a series of books that I have written 3 of and then took a break from. I do YouTube videos. I used to, and I will be doing them next year. Spoiler alert. But for now, I'm just gonna enjoy playing a game. I am playing Word, who is a small kobold rogue with very big aspirations, much bigger than he is. And he will be laying on a bed of straw. Can he be tended to by a couple of his kobold lackeys?
Yes, he can, as a couple of the kobold lackeys are just kind of massaging your feet, and just like you've got one kind of massaging your back on the shoulders a little bit, and just like
Let's skip this part and to an introduction to another character, I think, and maybe
run back out of the tent.
I'm just chilling.
Just
At another
Dragon 5th edition on YouTube. I also have a Twitter. All my stuff is under Feldeleb. And I am playing Buck Baccara, the Bugbear Barbarian.
yes.
He is.
And I'm walking into the tent, is that right? Or I'm having a
You
conversation
are
outside?
walking into the tent, but you are not entering alone, as there is a drow that enters with you. And the drow has been trailing you kind of close behind, waving and putting on a face to the crowd, which leaves the instant the cover falls behind them. It's Torellin, the bookie that has been keeping a tight leash on your depths. His face is very well groomed, and his shoulder-length hair is incredibly silky. Not a thread on his outfit is out of place, aside from a few spots of mud on his boots from walking through the farmland. And darting his head from outside immediately towards you, Buck, his eyes pierce into your being. I know you've made it this far, but you cannot expect me to accept an IOU as collateral.
T, listen. If we're gonna do this, we don't have to do this here. We're about to get to the final round. I'm working with a good group this time. I put it all on us to win this thing, and I think I'm gonna break even. I've always been good for it. You know that about me, right?
Yes, I know. A win's a win, but what if you don't? You can't very well ask for a 5th chance and expect to get away with it.
I think it's more of like a 4th chance if you consider that thing back, a couple months ago. But I get what you're saying.
We don't talk about that.
Yeah, look. I have got luck on my side since the beginning. But more than luck is going to be needed to win the final round. I understand. That's why I've got.
And I gesture kind of to the other two that are in the tent with me, and then my hand kind of drops as if these two aren't the best teammates to have.
I've got things figured out, so you don't have to worry too much about it. It's all gonna work out. Try not to get too stressed. You're gonna get that nice, pretty hair of yours all mussed up, and I know nobody wants to see that.
And you see that he crosses his arms looking at Word, and his face just kind of scrunches. Do you really think it's a good idea to be working with the likes of him?
I lean down closer to Torellin.
Look, absolutely not. But for all of his faults, he's adept at the things that he's adept at, and I think it will come in handy when it comes to completing this tournament. And then after that, we'll settle up, you and I, and we can go our separate ways. We don't have to worry too much about this. That's what I want out of this.
let's skip this and the introduction to another character.
Professional anime woman. I'm going to be playing Fritz, Arakakra Ranger, and I'm excited to be here. Hello.
Yes. And you were sitting... Actually, where were you in the room? I'll let you decide.
Am I allowed to enter late?
You know what? Yes,
Kind of
you
dashing
can.
through. Okay. I'll dash through and be like, I'm so sorry. I had some last minute letter deliveries. How is everyone?
Hello, Fritz.
Hello, my favorite people!
You're doing fantastic. With a little bit of slander in the tent, but that's how it goes.
Lyra!
Hello.
Buck! And...
Hello, Fritz.
Wade,
Who's the
did you
tiny
forget
fella?
my name?
Yes.
I put this whole team together and you forgot who I am already.
He's the one with the incident last month. You remember?
How does everybody know about that?
Oh, the
I put out the
incident!
fire word. That's how I remember.
Oh, the
Give
different
Lyra.
incident last month.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's alright. Thank you for that. I knew you'd be there. So we got this covered, right?
Yes.
What's our game plan? Go in there, punch them really hard, get out, get on our quest.
Something like that.
After a few minutes of small talk, you hear a minor commotion outside. The words, "Sir, you can't be here," a little argument, a thump, and some snoring. And then, a burly dwarf man with a braided orange beard and a privateer wear with a tricorn hat rushes into the tent.
So I think we can end the discussion here for now. I don't want it to be too long, especially, and also it's kind of hard to put it into my time right now. But I still want to make videos. It's very fun to do. So let's end this here. And if you like it, comment below and comment your thoughts, everything you need, and it will probably be a lot more discussions on this particular topic in future videos as well. So see you in the next one. Also, see you in the next one.